Time to rise. The game has shifted. How you can get your life, your career, and your business on track. Living in a changing world, things are changing every day. The economy is not quite doing well. Inflation is creeping. Money is losing its purchasing power. A lot of things is happening. So it is time that you can actually rise because the game has shifted. If you work for anyone as an employee, you will understand that things are different now. If you own your own business, you will see that things are also different. In your own life, in your own household, whether you're a married person, you're a single person, you will see that things are different. It's no longer the way it is. So you need to be able to adapt different ways, adjust, and be able to move forward, whether you are struggling, because time really has changed. You will agree with me that we live in a changing world. Things are changing every day, constantly. The event of the COVID 2019 2020 has altered the status quo. The issues in the Europe, in UK, the issue of Brexit, the issue of changing government, the economy is not doing well. If you go to America, things are not quite the way it used to be. If you go to Africa, if you go to Asia, there is instability in governments. They can no longer look after us. So we need to be able to rise above those things and be able to take charge of our lives. And this is why we are holding this all important web class so that you can be able to get your life, career, and business on track. If you are in business and you are losing money, you can be able to know how you can get your business to be growing so that you can progress, have exponential growth. If you are in a career, you can know when you need to leave, when you need to progress, how you need to develop, how you need to get to the next level, to the next career stack. It's not just about you being in a career, but understanding why you are in it. And in your own life as well, whether you have a family, you are a married person or a single person, you need to be able to enjoy your life and get the nitty-gritties and the benefits of maybe being alive, because it is a happy thing to be alive. But if you don't understand the meaning of life, if you don't get satisfaction, if you don't get any zest, harmony, happiness, and fulfillment in your life, you're going to be losing out. And that's not what I want for you. I'm quite honored. I won't take your time for granted. Let's get into it and I'll show you who this web class is for you to actually know whether you are in the right place or you are in the wrong place. Because if it is not for you, no need of wasting your time. This web class is for you if you are unfulfilled business owner or employee, if you're unfulfilled in your career, in your business, and you're thinking that there is more to it than just what you are getting. If you're an unhappy professional, whether you work in healthcare industry, whether you work in technology, whether you work in real estate, whether you work in any industry, or whether you work for the civil service, whether you work for the government, whether you're a politician, in your professional career, you're unhappy, you're a dissatisfied individual because things are not quite the way it's supposed to be. You have lost passion in what you do, passion in your marriage, passion in your family. You have no purpose and direction. You don't understand what is going on. But your mind is telling you there is better things. You are going through, you are tired, having stressed out as an employee, as a business owner, as a professional. You feel undervalued and underappreciated where you work or the people you do business with. You don't know how to change. There need to be change, but you don't know how to change. You feel trapped. You feel stuck. This is for you. This web class is for you. What you will discover as we move forward and what you will learn is the hidden secrets that might be blocking you, that might be sabotaging you, that might be hindering you from progress, from happiness, from being fulfilled in your job, in your career, in your business. You also be able to discover the factors fueling it. They are hidden his secret, and there are factors as well fueling it, which is not making it any easy for you. To show you what you should do now, moving forward. And it will be up to you to choose to do it or not to do it. It's not forced. So let's get into it. This is what I call the 4 eyes model: the expectation, your ego, the engagement, the system. If you understand it, and the other things I'm going to be showing you in this web class, your life will change automatically, will exponentially change. So when we talk about the expectation, if you're a business owner, you need to have expectation. If your expectation is too high from where you are and where you are going, it's going to be causing you confusion and you're going to have paralysis. You need to be able to set your expectation to something that is smart in such a way that you can be able to meet up. You don't have to set it too low. If you set it too low, it's going to be a problem as well. In your business, if you're making 20K per month at the moment, you can't just set the expectation that you want to start making 500K per month without having a plan, without changing certain things. You might be able to go from 20K to 30K or 50K in the next 90 days. It's achievable. But saying that you want to go from 20K to 500K in the next 90 days, you might be joking. And this is what maybe if you set that kind of expectation, it's not going to be good for you. But if you are not setting expectation as well, your life is going to be going around the circle and you're going to be thinking, am I really living or am I just existing? If you are in a job at the moment, you need to understand the expectation you have, the expectation your employer have as well. Because if your expectation does not match with the expectation your employer have, you're going to have issues. And some employers will communicate their expectation through job description, through policy and procedures, through handbooks, through a lot of things, through supervision, appraisal, and the things that they're going to be doing with you as an employee. You have to deliver to what they want, because if you don't deliver to that if you don't meet up the expectation, you're going to have issues of things. It's not going to work well. And you can actually fall into the trap of being unhappy because you are not meeting up. The expectation has to be dialed down properly, because when we work with business owners or individuals in their careers, we help them to understand the expectation that they need to be matching, how they need to raise it, or whether they need to bring it down to be able to match to where they. The second thing that we're going to be talking about is your ego. Ego can be a good thing. Ego is basically how you see yourself. Do you think that you are the best? Do you think that no one else is near to what you can offer? Do you think that every other people is rubbish, but you are the best and no one else can actually offer you anything? If you are thinking that way, it can actually be a hindrance for you. So your ego, obviously, you can raise your ego to be able to match to where you are going, but you have to make sure that you also respect and regard other people, knowing that you can't do it alone. But if you have low self-esteem, low self-morale because your ego is too low, is also going to be an issue, because ego can be a positive something, it can also be a negative something. We get to engagement. Engagement is basically how do you engage with your employers, with your employees, with your subordinates, with your superiors, with your vendors if you are in a business, with your suppliers. You engage through email, through phone call, through meeting face-to-face, through WhatsApp, through social media. You have to understand what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B. So if you don't get it, it's going to be an issue. So when you understand how you engage and you dial it down, whereby your manager wants you to engage in this way, or you as a manager, your employees and the people who you manage want you to engage with them in a certain way, because it's no size fit all. If you manage people, if you lead people, if you manage a system, if you manage a team, it's not one size fit all. You have to be able to distill it and dial it down to be able to customize it. Then we get into the last one, which is not the least, the system. System saves you time, energy, and money. In any environment, any organization, they have their own system. That you have worked with company A and you were the best does not mean that if you come to company B, you're going to be the best. You have to adapt and adjust to the system they are using. If you don't learn the system, you're going to have a lot of issues and a lot of mistakes. So you must be able to calm down. Some people have to coach you, show you what is obtainable in that industry, in that place, in that company, in that organization you work. Where you live, even in your own household, you should have a system that is working for you. Have you noticed that when you move houses, maybe if you haven't bought your own house, if you move house to somewhere else, you begin to learn how people who live in that environment behave, how they do things. Those things you can see some neighbors, telling you, oh, we don't do this way, this place. Maybe whether to pick up the beans, there is a different way they do things. Are you getting this? This is what we call the ICE model. And if we have an opportunity to work with you, we dial it down, we go into it, because if you don't understand this ICE model, there's no way you're going to be happy, you're going to be fulfilled, you're going to be satisfied in your career, in your business. The amount of money you can make, depends on you understanding the expectation, how to set it, you raising your ego and balancing it, having proper engagement to be able to make sure that you deliver to people who you serve, and having a system. As a business owner, you cannot do without system. You need a system to automate. You can own your business, not your business owning you. Are you getting this? If you're getting it, that's quite good. So we're going to move on. Next up is levels of value. Let's talk about levels of value. Levels of value is basically what are you bringing to the table as a business owner, as an employee, as an individual. We have the first one, which is the implementation level. Implementation level is the lowest level of value that you can be able to bring as a human being. Implementation level, people who belong to implementation level are people who are the lowest paid, people who are like the healthcare workers, the stewards, the retail assistants, people who use their energy, their manpower, people who stack the shelf, people who do night work, who do stocking, people who load things. These are people who are in the implementation level, the people who do cleaning jobs. Some people might call it menial jobs. It pays, it serves people quite, because without it, it can be difficult for people to survive. Some people are very good in those jobs. They don't want to do any other things apart from what they do. That's fine. That's okay. But if that is not what you want, we can actually show you how you can move from the implementation level to get to what we call the unification level. Because the higher the audience, the bigger the paycheck. Have you noticed people who belong to the unification level, which is the second one, are people who are like the team leaders, the coordinators, the middle level managers, the supervisors. They're able to unify what is going on to be able to put people on shift and tell them what to do on a small scale. They manage the people who are at the implementation level. They take a little bit of risk. It doesn't necessarily mean that they do a hard job, but they use their own brain as well, and they be able to have organizational skills, planning skills, controlling skills, managing skills. You see that your manager, your supervisor earns a little bit more than you. Can also have a business and then you are in unification level whereby you are the only one, or you have one employee and you are the manager, you are the implementer as well, and then you work with things. Now, you can also understand how you can move from the unification level to communication level. Communication level is when we talk about the CEOs of big companies, the chief executive, the managing directors, people who use their mouth, they can write a memo and they distill it to the organization and say, you need to go this way, you need to go this way. We also talk about people who are speakers, people who are politicians as well, people who are in communication level, people who are musicians, people who are showbiz people who can use their voice to be able to earn a lot of money. Influencers, there is the rise of social media has thrown up, whereby we have a lot of social media influencers. They are everywhere and they make a lot of money in YouTube, in Instagram, in TikTok, or whether in Facebook. These people use their voice or their mouth or able to do things. If you are in a unification level, you can also rise and they grow to the communication level. The last one, but not the least, is the imagination. The imagination is people who use their brain, their mind, to be able to imagine things and make it to come to fruition, make it to work. When we talk about Mark Zuckerberg of the world, we talk about Elon Musk, we talk about Jeff Bezos, we talk about Warren Buffett, we talk about the late Steve Jobs, we talk about the people who invent Apple or Samsung, the inventors, people who are thinking about the SpaceX, the Richard Branson. We can name a lot of them. These are people who use the imagination. The amount of money they earn is not quantifiable because they serve a bigger audience. Apple develop a product, it goes all over the world, people are buying, people are queuing up. The same can apply to Samsung. The same can apply to a lot of other inventors. We're talking about ChatGPT. We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about generative AI. We're talking about a lot of things. We're going to be getting into that. How are you getting this, guy? This is quite an eye-opener. You haven't seen anything like this. We're just getting started. So let's move forward. Let's talk about what we call the PVMVS, the PVMVS method. In the PVMVS method, we talk about the purpose, the vision, mission, value, and strategy. What does that really mean? It means that if you're a business owner, you need to have a purpose. If you are an individual in your career, you need to have a purpose. If you don't understand the purpose, because purpose is why you exist, why that business exists, the reason for being. If you don't get it, it's going to be difficult. This is about the aims and the objectives, the intention in mind. Because when you understand the purpose, your purpose will fuel your determination to succeed. You can write it down. Purpose fuels determination. Without purpose, you will not be determined to do anything because the purpose is the why. So you need to know the why as an individual, in your own personal life, in your career, in your business. You die the purpose down. We can help you to do that. Because without purpose, it's gonna be difficult. The second one is vision. Vision is basically for you to understand where you are going to. The end. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish in the midterm, in the long term? It's about the vision. What's the end result you want to achieve in your career? That job that you are doing now, that business you are doing now, where do you want to go with that? What's the end result? Is it because of your family? Is it to be able to serve the world? Is it because of a paycheck? You have to understand the vision that you have. Then we talk about the mission. Mission is what we talk about, what you do, for who, when, where, and how. Mission is like the vehicle. The vision is the destination. You need the mission, which is the vehicle to take you to that vision. Because without the mission, you won't get to your destination, which is the vision. So all these things, 5 things that were listed here, will work together. You see how they all work together. So you need that mission to be able to get to your vision. So you need to know what you do, who do you do it for, where do you do it, when, how, because the mission is the how. The vision is the what. Let's get to the value. Value is the basic and the fundamental beliefs, the guiding principles that detect behavior. So what value do you have that will help you with your mission to get to your vision and achieve your purpose? Because your vision, your value will be that you have a value, you're a disciplined person, you are result-oriented, you are a timekeeper, you're a team player. That could be one part of your values. You are someone who does not accept bare minimum jobs. That could be your value. You do what it says in the thing. You deliver for your employer, you deliver for your employees, you deliver for your business associate, you deliver for your customers. That's the value you have, to serve your customers to the best of what it detects. Not just to the best of your ability, but how it detects. Because sometimes, your best might not be good enough to what is expected. It's about what is required, how the customer wants it, how your employer wants it. If you're an employee, you work according to how your employer wants it. You might be able to contribute and they offer solutions and suggestions. But at the end of the day, there is a manager, a leader, or whoever who has to make the final decision. And then you have to align with that because it's not your call. Your call is for you to deliver what's according to the description, the job description. So are you getting this? So when we finish the value, we talk about the strategy. You need to have a strategy of success to be able to accomplish your purpose and get to their destination, which is the vision. You have to have a clear-cut strategy because strategy is like a map, a plan that you need to have. Because without a plan, you're not going to be able to do anything. Yes, if you have strategy, does that end it? No, we're coming. We'll show you some other things that work about the strategy. Because with strategy, without action, nothing is still not going to happen. But we'll tell you how, we're going to show you how they all pan out. I hope you are getting this. You must be buzzing, because you can't wait to hear more. Tell me you want to hear more. Let's go for it. I can understand you want to hear more. Okay, if you know all those things, if you can understand it, let's talk about why people are ineffective. Ineffective people. What makes people ineffective? What makes people unsuccessful? People are ineffective and unsuccessful because they have no purpose. When you have no purpose, when you have no purpose, that means you have no direction, you have no vision, you have no mission, and there's no goals. Are you getting this? There's no goals, there's no vision. And you're gonna be living like a blind someone who can't see. You have eyes, you can see. People who are ineffective, they are disengaged because they can't engage properly with others because they don't understand what is going on. That's why they are ineffective and they're gonna be unsuccessful. They tend to fall into conflict. They're unable to control their emotions because they don't understand what is going on. They don't have a purpose. They don't have a vision. They don't have a mission. They don't have values, good values to do, and they don't have any plan. So they are reacting instead of responding. They can control their emotions. They are disconnected as well. People who are ineffective, they are disconnected. They have no quality of personal or professional relationships. They are just existing. They can't get on with people because they don't understand. They are also powerless within themselves, outside. They are like spectators. Are you getting this? And that's not what I want for you. I don't want you to be powerless. I don't want you to be dwelling in conflict. I don't want you to be disengaged, because when you are disengaged, you have burnout, you have stress, you have a lot of things. Sometimes when people say they are burnout, having burnout in a job or in a work does not mean that you work too hard or you are doing too much jobs. It's just because you are disengaged and you are uninterested about the job. You are not feeling it. If you are feeling a job, if you are feeling a work, if you are feeling something, you're not going to have any burnout. Because if somebody wakes you up or calls you, you can work like anything so far the thing is fulfilling your purpose and is giving you happiness. It's not about how tedious the job is. It's just because people are disengaged and disorientated and they are not valued. That's what it is. So now let's move forward. What you need to succeed. There are 3 things you need to succeed. Number 1 is mindset. Number 2, skill set, and the action set. Let's talk about mindset. 80% of what we do is mindset and 20% is strategy. For any business owner to succeed, it depends on the psychology of the business owner. If you cannot work on the psychology where you determine, where you understand what you need to do, and you are strong and you have that growth mindset to be able to move forward, no strategy in the world will change your business. Because strategy is a plan, like in paper, that will tell you to do this and do that. But your mind has to be able to push you for you to be able to wake up at the time you're supposed to get up, to be able to go. That is your mindset that will be able to control those things. If your mindset tells you that you are not good enough or this can't work, or if you have a negative mindset, that's going to be a problem. That strategy, you won't even start it. You won't even try it, not to talk of giving it a go. And let's talk about skill set. Whatever you have known have brought you where you are at the moment. So if you want to progress, if you want to move forward, you need to be able to develop your skill set. I don't know what you have been learning. I don't know the training you have been doing. In some workplaces, in some organizations, they give crappy training that doesn't even help the employee. They just tick boxes. Like in healthcare industry, most of the trainings, most of the courses they do is just about ticking boxes. People go there and sit, they can't wait for it to finish. They don't learn anything. I've managed people and I've been in operations manager and I manage people finish going for training and they come back. You ask them, what did you get out of? They will just be, what did you learn? What did you get? They are looking at you as if to say you are speaking Greeks. Sorry if you're a Greek person listening to me, or maybe you are speaking Japanese or Mandarin or something like that. Obviously, I'm communicating in English. So even if you're a Greek or Japanese, definitely you are hearing English. But you can understand somebody who doesn't understand these languages. So if you develop your skill set, we're going to show you how to do that. Then you're going to be able to take action, because if you have mindset, if you have skill set, if you don't take action, nothing is going to work. You must do the work. And sometimes it's not easy. It can be challenging. It can be difficult, but it works it. When you take action to your life to improve your life, it works it. So let's talk about what might be sabotaging you from achieving those results, from implementing this your mindset, having a good skill set and taking action. Number one is what we call the self-image, the self-esteem and self-worth. What is the self-image you have for yourself? Not good enough, ugly, tall, fat, slim, short, big, too handsome, what is the image you have for yourself? A good one or a bad one? Do you have your self-esteem? Do you have a good self-esteem or low self-esteem? What is your self-worth? What do you tell yourself? It can actually maybe be sabotaging you because it's putting you off. And this is not what we want for you. So this is why we are doing this. And when we work with people, whether it is one-on-one or in group, we show you how you can actually get those things dialed in. The second one is limiting beliefs and the story you are selling yourself. We all have different places we grow up. Some people grew up from a poor background, or maybe from a family that has always had financial issues. What did your parents talk about money? Did they say that money was evil? Money is the root of all evil. Did they tell you that this is difficult to make money? That money is just maybe reserved for only few people? What are those stories that is carrying you? You're carrying them in your shoulder. Are you scared about becoming rich? Are you, when you see people who are rich, what is the story you are telling yourself? That they are doing dodgy people? Number three is the emotions: fear, uncertainty, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, fear of someone saying no to you. Emotions, you can control your emotions because you are keep on reacting. You can manage it instead of respond. But we can actually help you to be able to get those things out of the way so you understand when to respond instead of reacting. You stop having the fear of uncertainty, because there is nothing really certain in this life apart from that we were born and we're going to die someday. Every other things, are just uncertain. It happens. There's no guarantee. Number four is lack of knowledge and skills. We'll talk about skills before. You can see that as we're going through these, some of them are coming up every now and then. It's just maybe to reinforce it, to tell you that these things are kind of connected. Lack of knowledge. But knowledge alone doesn't do it. If you get that knowledge, you have to take action. You have to implement them. Skills. You have to develop your skills, because what you have known has brought you where you are now. Are you getting this? Let's talk about the drivers of growth. So if you want to grow, if you are still listening to me, if you are still here, you want to grow and you want to progress in your life. So you have to fix your mindset. You have to be able to work on the vision that we have talked about so you know your destination. We have to set up a clear-cut strategy. We can help you to do that. You need to understand who is in your team. Team, the acronym, you can talk about it together. Everyone achieves more. Because if you understand it, if you have good people in your team, if everyone works together and do what they're supposed to do, you're going to achieve more. So are you team? When we talk about team as well, we're talking about even friends, your co-workers, your business associate. Do you attend networking meeting? Do you attend seminars? Who is in your team? Who do you run to? Who do you talk to? Who do you call when you are stuck? System, what system are you using? As a business owner, what system are you using? In your workplace, what system are you using? Do you understand the system your employer has introduced? Have they recently changed your system and you are thinking that things is not going to work, that you can't get this? You don't want to put your head down to learn it. The last one is execution. You have to execute. You have to implement. You have to put in the work. Without execution, mindset is going to be nonsense. Without execution, you can't get to your vision, to your destination. Without execution, the strategy is rubbish. Have all the whole teams, what are teams for? Teams come together to execute. By using the system, you have to use a system that works for everyone. You getting this? So let's talk about what high achievers do. If you want to become a high achiever, if you want to perform, if you want to become a high performer, you need to understand what we call the meta skills. One is about personal purpose. You need to be able to write down your personal purpose, why you exist in this life. It doesn't matter the job you do. You can be a cleaner, you can be a supervisor, you can be a security person, you can work in the insurance industry, but your purpose is to serve humanity in the green economy. you help the world in terms of climate change calamity. That could be your purpose. You might be a doctor, but you have a different calling in helping to take care of children in schools, in after school club, over the weekends. Notwithstanding, you're a doctor that gives people injection and prescribe drugs, but you have a passion, you have purpose. You might be a footballer, but the money you are making in your football career might be serving a purpose to help people down somewhere, to put water for people who doesn't have water, or put electricity for people who doesn't have electricity. So you have to understand your personal purpose. But two is leadership. When we talk about leadership, leadership is for you becoming a leader within yourself, because we all need to become a leader within ourselves. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. And if you can't lead yourself, other people can lead you at the same time. That is the problem we're having in most workplaces, because most employees are not leaders within themselves. So they find it difficult for someone else to lead them, for someone else to manage them within a team, because you don't really manage people directly, but you manage a team where the people are part of the team. Are you getting this? But if you're a leader within yourself, you understand what your manager or what your leader is doing or intend to do, and you can be able to help, because your manager needs help as well, not just you. So don't think that maybe because you're an employee that everything is down for your manager or your leader to be able to do. So you need to become and if you're a leader in an organization, you also need to understand how to lead people, knowing that it's not one size fits all. Number 3 is learning and adaptability. Continuous learning is the only real resource for growth and improvement. The more you learn, the more you earn. It's not just about learning. If you learn, you have to implement, you have to execute, you have to do the work. So number 4 is expanded network. If you're a business owner, you need to have network. You attend networking meeting. Who do you do the business with? How do you network? Where are you getting your leads, your recommendations? If you're an employee, who is in your network? In terms of if you want to get another job, if you want to leave that company because you are no longer happy with what is going on. Are you getting this? You have to have expanded network. People you have worked in the past before. How do you collaborate? How do you communicate? How do you engage? Are you still in contact with them? That is why wherever you are, any job you do, you must invest in yourself. You must do more than you are paid to invest in yourself. That is why people can recommend you in future. Number 5, we live in a modern life in 21st century. We talk about generative AI. Whether you call it ChatGPT, you need to learn that skill. OpenAI, DALL-E, images, the one that does images, videos everywhere. There's quite a lot. For you to continue to be relevant in an organization and continue to grow with what is coming, you must understand generative AI, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, how they work, even if it is the basic. These are what high achievers, they are the meta skills. Number 6, you have to have consistent action, because it's not what you do once in a while that gets you result, it's what you do consistently. Consistent actions beats sophistication any day, anytime. It triumphs sophistication. So you have to take consistent action to be able to move forward. If you are getting this, you're quite happy with you, because you are in for a treat for you to come here. So let's go into the 9 major areas of life. As a human being, you have your own business or you are in a career whereby other people employ you. So you have to think about, where are you? How are you progressing? How are you moving forward? What is your finances? Is it in check? Is it dialed in? Or are you in financial scarcity, financial struggle, financial stability, financial independence, or financial freedom? Because financial struggle, financial scarcity is not good. Life starts getting a little bit better when you get to financial stability, which means that your income is more than your outgoing. But financial struggle is when your outgoing is more than your income. Financial struggle is even worse than that. Are you getting this? Or you're in financial scarcity? Your health. How is your health? Are you exercising? Are you fit? Are you checking yourself? Whether it is a BP or eating balanced diet, your relationships, whether it is personal relationship or professional relationship. your intimate romance with your partner, with your wife, with your husband? How is it? How can you improve it? Improve on it. Personal growth and development. When last did you learn? Like what you are doing now, you're actually maybe improving yourself. What we're talking about here is that you're going to learn a lot of things that will help you in all areas of your life. Fun and recreation. I showed you some couple of photos where I was working out with my wife, going here and there. Sometimes you're going to have fun with kids as well. It doesn't have to be going to abroad or whatever. Local holidays or local weekend trips, does help. Physical environment. Where do you live? Where do you work? It can actually be a helper or can something that can be destroying you if you live in a noisy neighborhood with noisy neighbors, with helpful neighbors. Spirituality. How is your spiritual life? When we talk about spirituality, we're not talking about just God. We're talking about God, the divine, the universe, whatever you believe in, whether it is your television, whether it is your laptop, whether it is your phone. But you have to have a spiritual life where you need to believe in something to make sure that you are moving forward. And this leads us to what we call the will of life, because those 9 major areas of life is something that we can actually put in the will of life, where you can map yourself out. Where do you belong? For some people in business and career, they might be at 7, whereby they are in a career that they are happy about, 7 or 8, and in their finances might be at 5, which means they are not quite happy with the finances. Maybe they are not making the money they need to make. They can go to health and fitness, whereby they might be healthy. They can come to family and their friends. Maybe they are not happy with their family where they are at the moment. There is a couple of issues, romance and the relationship. Maybe it's awesome. It might not be. Actually, take a photo of these, screenshot these, and use it and map yourself out where you belong. For some people, they might get a perfect circle. Some people might get zigzag. It might be all over the place. With that, you can identify where you need to work on and how you need to improve. So if you have listened to me all this while, we have given you quite a lot of value, and it is your time to rise. I mean it is your time to rise, because the world has shifted. It does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you don't stop. Now is the time. There is no better time than now. You have survived all this while. So now you're going to need to move forward. We have covered so far. I've been able to show you the hidden secrets. I've been able to show you the factors and explain to you the factors fueling it. I've also explained some of what you should do, but let's go into it more. And I want to take a few minutes to invite you to free breakthrough session. This is going to be a free breakthrough session. It's 30 minutes free. Don't have to pay a dime for it. The link is there. During the session, we're going to look into how you can transform your career and your business, if that is what is your interest. Because it could be that your career or your business is not where it needs to be. It could be that it is your relationships, whether it is an intimate relationship, professional relationship, personal relationship, whether it is your romance, whether it is with your partner, with your husband or with your wife, with your boyfriend or with your girlfriend, or whether you don't have any and you are looking to get into one. We can help you. But we need to be able to understand where you are now and where you want to go. And then looking at those things that we talk about, the ICE model, and some of those things we can set up strategy of success with you. We're also going to look into transform your finances and your wealth. Show you some wealth building strategies that you can implement that can help you to grow exponentially. Get your finances in check. Let me tell you what we're going to be doing. First, we're going to clarify your vision and your direction. Be able to understand what, why, when, where, who, and the how. Are you getting this? Clarify your vision in your career and business and your life, your relationships. Show you the next step. Because without the vision, you're not going to know where you're not going to have a direction. So we clarify your vision and show you the direction you need to take in your career, in your business, and in your life. We need to be able to master your mind and your emotions. What is holding you back? The self-image that you have yourself, the self-worth. You need to be able to show you to understand the unconscious and the unconscious mind so that you can open yourself up for success, for happiness, for fulfillment. Show you how you need to develop a growth mindset and come out from fixed mindset so that things can start working for you. Emotional intelligence, how you need to understand the emotional intelligence. Because emotional intelligence in the modern age triumph over IQ, which is an intelligent quotient. Because it's not just about knowing, it's about being able to manage your emotions. The third one is you have to upgrade your skills. We help you to identify the necessary skills you need. If there is any skill gap that is holding you back, we identify it and help you to be able to improve your skills. Get new skills if need be. Number 4 is optimize your environment, because your environment can be a super helper or silent assassin. We don't want it to be silent assassin for you. We help you to optimize it. The environment will impact your results. And when we talk about the environment, we talk about the physical environment, the idea environment, and people environment. The physical environment is where you live, where you work, and then where you shop and those kind of things. The idea environment is what are you learning? Who are you listening to? What podcasts are you listening to? What video are you consuming? Whose video are you watching on YouTube? The idea environment, what are you learning? The people environment is who is on your team? Who do you work with? Who do you live with? Personal, professional, we look into that. Number 5 is we strategize your actions. We help you to strategize your actions. You get a clear action plan, well thought out strategy, a plan that works for you, not for anyone else. This is what we're going to be looking into on the free breakthrough call. It's a free. It's a way of giving back. So click on the link and book yourself in for a free 30 minutes call. By now, once I agree that we have delivered on what I promised that we're going to do, we're going to show you the hidden secrets, the factors fueling it, and what you should do. And this is why I've invited you for this free breakthrough session, so that you can transform your career and business, or transform your relationships, or transform your finance and your wealth, or even do 3 of them. For some people, they are stuck, they are trapped. None of them is working well. But for some people, they might have a perfect relationships. They might have, they feel they have good career and business, but now the money is not coming. The wealth is not growing. We show you how you can use that your career and your business to grow your finances and your wealth. For some people, their wealth and finances is growing, their business is doing well, but the relationship sucks and it's not good. So if you are in any of them, then we can show you how to do that. So you click on the link, book a call. Let's get you going and make sure that you make this year moving forward your best year ever. And you can be able to cascade this. This is not just for you. If you have friends, if you have well-wishers, if you have colleagues, managers, if you have people who you work in the same team, who might be of benefit to this, you need to cascade it to them. Show them. If you're a manager of people, and if you want us to help you deliver a team teach, to be able to help your team, to be able to help your organization, or you're a business owner, because it is time to invest in yourself. And as you invest in yourself, you're going to invest in other people as well. If you manage people, if you own your own business, you're going to be able to help your employees, because the more they get better, the way they're going to help you to make more money, because you get into business to be able to make money to serve your purpose, not for the business to manage you, but for you to manage the business, for you to be a business owner, not for the business to own you. Because if you don't have all those things we talked about, if you don't understand the expectation, if you don't have a system, if you don't understand, engage properly, and if you don't raise your vibration and raise your frequencies in terms of understanding your ego, how it's supposed to balance, it's going to be difficult. And don't forget, 80% of what you do as a business owner should be mindset. Because as a business owner, You are in the business of marketing and innovation. That's the two forces that's going to be driving your business. And as an employee, if you are listening to me, you have to understand that you work according to the expectation of your employer and do more than you are paid to invest in your future. Now it is the time for you to invest in yourself. Click on the link. I show you the link once more. You can copy it and you can get it here. I will leave it for a few seconds. We'll shut down. We have delivered. And if you have liked this web class, to send me what you think. And if there is something else you want us to help you, I've been taking your time so much, but I don't take your time for granted in anything. So thank you so much. The link is there. I'm sure you have seen it. And we'll leave it for a short while. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.